Hi, my name's Isaac, and this is a brand new 2024 Toyota Tacoma TRD Sport. And today, I'm gonna review it for you guys. Over the last 5 years on YouTube, I have reviewed a lot of third generation Tacomas, but looking back through my catalog, I realized I've never done a walk around video on a TRD Sport. So for this fourth generation, I'm starting off strong. Let's get started. Before we begin, I'd like to thank Sioka Toyota of Williamsport, Pennsylvania for allowing me to borrow this vehicle to review. For all your Toyota needs in the Williamsport area, I'll provide a link to their website in the description below. Starting out up front on this truck, I absolutely love the design. I think Toyota killed it with the new Tacoma. It is, in my personal opinion, one of the best looking trucks on the road today. It's sharp and angular, but still very stylish and of the time. There are a lot of great looking trucks out here, but this one might take the top spot right now. Starting out up front, you'll have full LED headlights. Those are standard across the range now. And then you'll also have LED fog lights on this TRD Sport, though you're still gonna get incandescent turn signals. And then moving into the grille, your Toyota logo is just a regular Toyota logo. There's no Toyota safety sense located here anymore, like on the third generation trucks. Instead, they moved that sensor to right down here, and that's right above the parking sensors. One thing I don't love on the front of this truck, but it's very easily removable, is this gigantic air dam. I think that kind of hampers the look of the truck just a little bit, but again, very easily removable if you wanted to. Moving underneath the hood, which has a non-functional air intake like previous TRD Sports, this Tacoma is powered by a 2.4-liter I-Force turbocharged 4-cylinder. Yes, the fourth generation has foregone the V6 engine, but this 4-cylinder actually makes the same amount of horsepower as the outgoing V6, 278 to be specific, and this makes 317 pound-feet of torque, which is significantly more than that outgoing engine. And that's paired to an 8-speed automatic, though a 6-speed manual is also available. Moving to the profile of the new Tacoma, starting here with the fender flare, not somewhere I usually start, but you'll get a little air pass through right there, which I think is neat. I also really like how flared out they are overall, especially compared to the last generation. And then moving to the wheels and tires here, you'll get 265/65 Michelins around these 18-inch wheels. I love the silver and dark gray design contrasted with the red TRD. That looks so cool. Then you'll have a blacked out Tacoma emblem here and Predator steps. Those were a dealer add-on. I think the name Predator steps is cool, but like, what does that mean? Like, does the Predator use them on his ship? Regardless, moving up here to the mirror cap, it is body colored with a turn signal indicator incorporated in and blind spot monitoring as well as power adjusting. And then moving down here, you do have keyless entry and it is mostly body colored. I like the two-tone white and black here. So if you have the key in your pocket, you can tap that. That will lock the vehicle and then you can walk up to it, there we go, to unlock it. So that is very useful. And then moving down the profile, it says TRD Sport right here. On the fourth generation of trucks, they've decided to forego the big 4x4 sticker and instead just say what the trim is, and then they move the 4x4 right down there. Alpha Shark will be right back after a word from our sponsor. It's no secret that I love to drive, and if you're watching this video, I suspect you do too. And for a lot of us, it's second nature to lock our vehicles when we're done driving because we love our cars and locking them is an added layer of security to protect them. But do you have any security to protect your identity? Did you know that online data brokers sell your information to spammers, scammers, and anyone else looking to target you? Your full name, email, home address, your relatives, even your health records. It's all out there. That's where today's sponsor, Aura, comes in. Aura will show you which data brokers are selling your information and automatically submit opt-out requests for you. Cleaning up your information not only helps reduce the amount of spam that you get, but it can also protect you from hackers who could use that information to access your social media, bank accounts, and other sensitive information. Recently, AT&T revealed that over 73 million customer records, both existing and former customers, were released on the dark web. They recommend those affected use strong passwords, monitor account activity, and consider credit freezes or fraud alerts from credit bureaus. But Aura does all of this for you. Best of all, you don't have to worry about downloading all sorts of different apps just because a company couldn't keep your data secure. Aura is always on, always doing the hard work to keep you safe. I value my privacy, and I value yours too. Locking your car is as simple as pressing a button, and so is downloading Aura. You can go to aura.com/alphashark to get started with your 2-week free trial. I'll also leave a link in the description below. And now, back to the video. But as we move to the rear of the truck, Tacoma is stamped into the tailgate. You'll have your tow hitch right down here. And then above that, you'll have parking sensors and your backup camera. I locked the truck, so now I need to unlock it to open the bed, which is nice. The bed does lock with the rest of the truck. That was a dealer add-on on the 3rd gen trucks, and not very common. So people had a large issue with their tailgates getting stolen on previous generations of the Tacoma. Now you do have a spray-in bed liner right here, but it is still a composite bed, so it's very durable regardless. Over here you will have a little storage cubby, and then you will have a power outlet, and then tie-down racks right there, all the way across the back, and right there. The 3rd generation does not have tie-downs on the back, so that's nice. And then opening this up, you will have a 12-volt, 2 USB-Cs, and then there's also a little rubber cover right here for a fuse. So in addition to a little storage area, you also get a little bit of a tailgating bonus back here. Then you'll have LED bed lights as well. Moving to the interior, starting right here, you're gonna get power seat controls, which is really nice. You get up and down adjustment, which the 3rd generation did not have on most of its models, though it eventually did come to that truck. You do get a much better seating position here compared to the outgoing model. And then on the door panel right here, you have a nice soft touch place to rest your arm. Up here is very nice as well, though this is hard touch. Your window controls, mirror controls, and then a little pocket down here. Some spots for drinks, and this does have the upgraded JBL sound system. Normally that would just be a passing mention, but there's a very cool feature I'd like to talk about in a little bit as we move inside. Gonna step up with those Predator steps. And then getting in here, let's turn the truck on. It sounds nice. This steering wheel is manually tilting and telescoping to allow you to find just the perfect spot overall of comfort. And then all these buttons down here include lighting, traction control, the button to turn on and off the power outlet in the bed, some auxiliary buttons, which is nice. So if you want to hook a light bar or something up like that up, you could do that. And then moving to the steering wheel, it is very nicely wrapped. It's heated, which is cool. That was not an available option on the outgoing Tacomas. So very nice to see it here on the new generation. And there are a lot of buttons on the steering wheel. Some of them over here control this fully digital gauge cluster screen, which is really, really cool. As you change menus, the whole screen changes. It's very neat and offers you a decent amount of customization. When you spin the drive mode selector right here, you can see it's in sport. You can go to normal, and that will change the entire design of the gauge cluster screen, which is cool to tell you which drive mode you're in. The steering wheel also has radar guided cruise control buttons and some buttons to change some stuff on the radio. If we click here on the screen and we get through these menus, you can see if we tap mode, that'll pull up different things, Amazon Music, your FM, stuff like that. Nice to have a physical volume knob right here, though a lot of complaints have been levied against this system for having to like hook up a phone number, and it's just a little bit complicated initially. Now, once you get a profile registered on the truck, it is very quick, very concise, and it's a really nice radio overall that gets the job done. And there's a couple of different unique settings in here, and it's a very large screen, but I have heard a lot of complaints about that initial setup on the screen, but overall, not a bad screen. If we put it into reverse, you can see you get this wide angle backup camera, but you can also make it fill the entire screen, and then turning the steering wheel here also turns your guiding lines. And an additional benefit is you can actually change what the lines look like, which is cool. So there's a little bit more customization in there. So putting it back into park, going down here, in addition to heated steering wheel, you also get heated seats, physical knobs for your climate controls, and then down here there is a wireless charger, 2 USB-Cs, and a 12-volt down there, and a standard kind of traditional shifter, which is nice. So putting it into gear is very easy, very straightforward. There's not a knob or buttons. It's pretty standard, which is very nice. And then it says TRD right on there. You will have a grab handle right here, little storage cubby, electronic parking brake, and then this is the aforementioned drive mode selector, but you also have tow haul here. And I like this, if you want to put it in 4-wheel drive, you push this little button in at the bottom and you can turn that little dial, and then it says 4 high right there, and let's see, we want to go back into 2. You can turn that again. I think that's a neat little look. Disappointingly, for a truck of this price, this MSRP is for about $51,000, this is an entire row of blank switches. I'm not entirely sure what every single one of these buttons does. I know one is a rear locker. I was just in a TRD off-road, and that had it right there, but I don't know what any of these other ones are, and so that's kind of disappointing to see those blank switches on a $51,000 truck. Then you'll have 2 cup holders right here, maybe a spot for a Fiji water in the middle, and then in here, looks like some accessories that Toyota includes, but no USBs or 12 volts in there. Kind of disappointing. And the 3rd gen had a spot to hold pens. I use that a lot in my 3rd gen. I would put a pen there if I needed to do work. But obviously you could just throw them in the center console. It wouldn't matter too terribly much. Now, I mentioned the JBL sound system on this truck, and that would normally just be, like I said, kind of a passing thing. But up here, there is a JBL speaker in the center of the dashboard that works with the sound system. So you have your music going, this speaker is playing music as well. But if you're at the beach or somewhere else and you'd like to have a portable speaker, it pops out. Isn't that so cool? That is incredible. And now you have a portable speaker you can take wherever you want. You want a tailgate, you can use this thing. Very, very neat. And then if you want, you can just pop that right back in there, and then it becomes part of your sound system again. Up here, you'll have an auto-dimming mirror. You'll have LED dome lights and the button for your power sliding rear window. Glad to see Toyota kept the power sliding feature on there. And then moving over here, you'll have a small storage cubby area. Tacoma is printed on the dash, and a fairly sized glove box. Oh, dang, I knew I was gonna, hold on. Let's see if we can get this. Whoop, there we go. That looks pretty good. But that pretty much wraps up the interior here on the front. Let's take a look at the back seats. Moving to the rear seats, the cup holders continue. Boy, you can sure store a ton of cups and bottles in your Tacoma. And then right here, there is a latch on the seat. You can pull this up and there is some storage underneath the seats. And just like the third generation, you can pull this and there is even more storage back here. Now this particular fourth gen has the JBL upgraded sound system, as I've mentioned at length now, but the subwoofer sits back here, so there isn't an extra cubby for storage. Normally on different trims that don't have that, you get some more storage back here. Now, stepping up inside, I'm going to use that Predator step. It is pretty accommodating back here. I maybe have an inch of legroom. I could probably get 2 or 3 inches if I move this forward. I move this seat back a little bit to film. And, oh man, yeah, I probably have 2 or 3 inches of headroom as well. So definitely not super cramped back here. It's probably about the same dimensions as the third generation truck, though you might have a little bit more of a shelf where you're sitting a little bit higher because the third generation sat a little bit lower. Now, there are cup holders right here and a household outlet as well as 2 USB-Cs, which is nice. Though this doesn't fold down into an armrest or anything, I kind of wish that it would, to give you maybe a little bit more of a comfortable feel in the back seats here. Overall, not a bad place to be. All right, driving the new Tacoma, I really like the 8-speed automatic in this truck. It definitely gets up to speed very quick. Doesn't gear hunt at all here as I accelerate. It's very, very nice. Definitely an improvement over the outgoing truck. And overall, the handling is very nice. The cornering is very tight. It feels a little bit more car-like than the outgoing Tacomas, but it feels still trucky. It retains that truckiness with the commanding view, and as I mentioned briefly before, it does have a better seating position than the third generation. It's very smooth. I really, really like it. It is very expensive though. This is something I'll probably say on all of my videos concerning this generation of the Tacoma. It is significantly more expensive than the outgoing truck, and recently I was in an accident where my third generation Tacoma was totaled, my 2019, and I got an insurance payout. It was a very good amount of money, and I was like, oh man, maybe I'll get a fourth generation. And I looked at an identically equipped fourth generation, and it was thousands and thousands of dollars more expensive, probably 10 or 12,000 more expensive than my truck. And it was identically equipped to how I had it on the previous gen. And so I said, all right, well, let me look at even like a base work truck. And I want it 4-wheel drive. Here in Pennsylvania, we get snow. And so I looked at that, and it was still like $40,000 for the base model work truck with 4-wheel drive. And I was like, yeah, I just can't swing that. And that makes sense. I mean, it's in a more competitive market now. There's more features, but it's gonna be interesting to see if they still hold the top spot with the mid-size pickup trucks going forward. I think it's a great looking truck. I think it's a great functioning truck, but that price lockout might hinder some people from purchasing this. Hey, different day, Isaac here to wrap up the video. I really hope you guys enjoyed. Before I go though, I'd like to mention that I'm a Christian, and if you have any prayer requests, I would love to be able to pray for you. You can leave those in the comment section below. It truly is a privilege. And lastly, before I go, I'd like to close out on a scriptural reading. This week, I'm in the book of Matthew, chapter 5, and Jesus is speaking here, picking up in verse 14. You are the light of the world. A city on a hill cannot be hidden. Nor do people light a lamp and put it under a basket, but on a stand, and it gives light to all in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, so that they may see your good works and give glory to your Father who is in heaven. All right, guys, that's going to completely finish off this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, as I said before, and remember, no matter what vehicle you have, I hope it lasts you a long time and it serves you well. Take care.